People think being an airline pilot means free trips, five-star hotels, and a fat paycheck for just flying a plane. I used to think that too. 26 years later, sitting in the cockpit at 3 in the morning, missing my daughter's birthday for the 10th time, I learned the truth. This job gives you a life most people dream about. It also takes things from you that money can never buy back. Let me tell you what really happens up there. My name is Alex. I'm 50 years old, and I've been flying commercial airplanes for over 26 years. I started as a young, wide-eyed first officer who thought the uniform made you special. Today, I'm a captain. I've flown millions of miles. I've sat in the cockpit through storms, engine warnings, medical emergencies, and yes, thousands of perfectly boring smooth flights too. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the real life of an airline pilot, not the Instagram version, not the version travel agencies want you to believe, the real one. I'll tell you about the money, the schedule, the perks that actually matter, and then I'll tell you about the sacrifices nobody warns you about before you sign up for this career. By the end, you'll understand exactly what this life costs and exactly what it gives back. If you've ever dreamed of becoming a pilot, or you're just curious what it's really like behind that cockpit door, stay with me. And if you enjoy honest, no-nonsense stories from real working life, subscribe and turn on notifications, because this channel is built on truth, not fantasy. Let's get into it. I didn't grow up rich. My father worked with his hands his whole life, and flying was never something anyone in my family had done. But I was obsessed with airplanes as a kid. I used to stand at the fence near the airport just to watch planes take off. I didn't know then that it would take me almost 8 years of training, debt, and sacrifice before I ever got paid to fly a real airliner. Becoming a pilot is not like other careers. You don't just apply for a job. You have to earn licenses, one after another. Private pilot license, instrument rating, commercial license. Then you need flight hours, hundreds and then thousands of them, before any airline will even look at your resume. Most of us start by flying small planes, towing banners, teaching students, flying cargo in the middle of the night in beat-up old aircraft nobody else wants to fly. That's the part people skip in the story. Before the uniform and the wings, there are years of struggling just to build the hours required to even apply for an airline job. I remember my first real airline interview. I was nervous, broke, and running on adrenaline. When they finally called and said, "You're hired," I cried in my car. Not because I made it big. Because after everything I'd sacrificed, someone finally said yes. That's the foundation of this whole career. It's built on years of unpaid dues before the paycheck ever comes. Now, let's talk about what people actually want to know. What do you get for all that struggle? Once you make it to a major airline, the money is genuinely good. Captains at big airlines can earn $200,000 a year or more, depending on the aircraft and seniority. Even first officers at regional airlines now make far more than they used to, thanks to pilot shortages in recent years. It's not instant wealth. It takes years of climbing the seniority ladder. But if you stick with it, the income becomes very comfortable. This is the part everyone imagines. And it's true, at least partly. I've seen sunrises over oceans that most people will never see in person. I've had breakfast in one country and dinner in another on the same day. My family gets to fly on standby tickets for almost nothing, which means my kids have seen more of the world by age 15 than I had by age 30. This surprises people. Pilots don't work a normal 5-day week. Depending on seniority, I might fly 15 days a month and have the rest completely free. That means I can be home for weeks at a time in certain months. I've coached little league games, gone to school events, and taken long trips with my family. Things a lot of 9-to-5 workers can only dream about doing during the year. There's something else people don't expect. The friendships. You spend long days and nights in small spaces with your crew, dealing with delays, weather, and stress together. Some of my closest friendships in life came from a random crew pairing on a rainy night in some city I'd never even choose to visit on my own. There's also a quiet pride in this job. When passengers walk past the cockpit and see gray hair and calm hands on the controls, there's a trust in their eyes. People trust you with their lives, literally, every single flight. That trust is heavy, but it's also meaningful. It reminds you that what you do actually matters. So yes, the benefits are real. Good money, incredible travel, flexible time off, deep friendships, and quiet respect. But now, let's talk about the other side. Because nobody tells you this part before you commit your whole life to this career. Here's the truth. This career takes things from you that you can never get back. I've missed birthdays. I've missed anniversaries. I was flying over the ocean the night my youngest took her first steps. My wife sent me a video, and I watched it alone in a hotel room in a city I don't even remember the name of anymore. You can't schedule life around holidays like everyone else. Someone has to fly on Christmas. Someone has to fly on New Year's Eve while everyone else is celebrating. For years, that someone was me. I've spent more Thanksgivings in an airport hotel than I have at my own dinner table. Nobody talks about what this job does to your body. Your internal clock gets destroyed. One week you're flying overnight across time zones. The next week you're waking up at 4 in the morning for an early departure. Your sleep never becomes normal again. I've dealt with fatigue that regular people can't even imagine. The kind where your body doesn't know if it's morning or night anymore. The air in the cabin is dry and thin. Years of breathing recycled air at altitude takes a toll on your skin, your sinuses, your immune system. I get sick more than most people I know. It's just part of the job that nobody warns you about in flight school. Every single time I sit in that seat, I carry the lives of everyone on that plane. Passengers, crew, sometimes children flying alone to see family. That responsibility never becomes light, no matter how many years you do this job. Weather can turn bad in minutes. Mechanical issues can appear without warning. You train for emergencies your entire career, hoping you never have to use that training, but you always have to be ready. I've had flights where an engine indicator lit up over open water, far from any airport. I've had passengers experience medical emergencies mid-flight with no doctor on board. In those moments, there is no room for panic. You have seconds to think clearly while 150 people trust you completely, without even realizing how serious the situation is. That kind of pressure builds up over the years. It doesn't disappear when you take off the uniform. This job creates distance in relationships, even when you don't want it to. My wife raised our children largely on her own during my working years. She became used to solving problems without me, making decisions without me, comforting our kids without me physically there. By the time I'd come home, sometimes I felt like a guest in my own house for the first day or two, until we found our rhythm again. Marriages in this industry struggle more than people realize. I've watched good pilots go through painful divorces because their spouses simply couldn't handle the loneliness of being married to someone who's gone half the month. I got lucky. My wife is patient and strong. Not everyone in this career is that fortunate. People imagine exciting hotel stays in glamorous cities. The truth is more simple and lonely than that. Most nights I'm eating room service alone, video calling my family for 10 minutes before they go to bed, then lying in a hotel bed by myself in a city I won't remember by next year. The excitement fades fast when it becomes your normal life instead of a vacation. I mentioned the good pay earlier, but I need to be honest about the road to get there. Training costs a lot of money. Many pilots take on serious debt before they ever earn a real salary. Some spend years working regional airline jobs for modest pay while building experience, sometimes barely covering rent in expensive cities near their base. The big paycheck comes eventually, but only after years of financial struggle that most people don't see. There's something else that hits you later in life, the mandatory retirement age. In most countries, Pilots are required to retire at 65. After decades of building a career, of sacrificing time with your family, the job eventually pushes you out whether you're ready or not. I think about that more now that I'm 50. The clock is ticking louder every year. So what's the real answer? Is this job worth it? Here's my honest opinion after 26 years in this profession. It's worth it, but only if you understand exactly what you're trading. You're trading holidays for financial stability. You're trading normal sleep for flexible time off. You're trading time with your children when they're small for the ability to be more present later in life, once you gain seniority and better schedules. You're trading the comfort of home for experiences most people will never have. This job is not for everyone. I've seen talented pilots quit because the lifestyle broke their marriage or their mental health. I've seen others thrive because they built strong routines, strong communication with their families, and realistic expectations from the start. If I could go back and talk to myself at 22 years old, dreaming about wings and uniforms, I'd tell him this. The job will give you everything you ever wanted from a career. Adventure, respect, financial security, unforgettable experiences, but it will also ask you to give up pieces of your personal life you can never get back. Missed moments don't come with replays. I'd also tell him to build a strong support system early, a patient partner, good communication habits, a way to stay connected with your children even when you're thousands of miles away. Those things matter more than any paycheck ever will. I'll also be honest about how this industry has changed. Technology is different now. Video calls make it easier to stay connected than it was when I started. Airlines have improved scheduling in some ways, though delays and cancellations have become more common due to weather patterns and staffing challenges across the industry. Pilot shortages in recent years have actually improved pay and hiring speed for new pilots, something my generation didn't experience early on. The job today looks different from the one I started in, but the core sacrifices remain the same. Time away from home, physical strain, deep responsibility. Those things haven't changed and probably never will, no matter how advanced the aircraft become. After everything I've said, you might wonder why I haven't quit. The answer is simple. Despite every sacrifice, I still love this job. There's nothing like watching a sunrise from 40,000 feet above the clouds, in complete silence except for the quiet hum of the engines. There's nothing like landing safely after a difficult flight and hearing passengers say thank you as they walk off the plane. There's nothing like knowing that after all these years, I still get a small rush every time the wheels lift off the ground. This job has shaped who I am. It's taught me patience, discipline, and calm under pressure. It's given my family a life of travel and opportunity most people only dream about. And even with everything it has taken from me, I don't regret choosing this path. If you're considering this career, here's my honest advice. First, understand that the road is long before the reward comes. You'll need patience, financial discipline, and a genuine passion for flying, not just the idea of the lifestyle. Second, talk to your family before you commit. This career affects everyone in your household, not just you. Make sure the people you love understand what they're signing up for, too. Third, build habits early that protect your health. Sleep when you can. Exercise on layovers. Eat well even when it's tempting to grab fast food between flights. Your body will thank you decades later. Fourth, stay connected to your family in small, consistent ways. A short phone call every night, a video message when you land. Those small moments add up and help bridge the distance this job creates. And finally, remind yourself why you wanted this career in the first place. On hard days, and there will be many, that memory will keep you grounded. So there you have it. The real story of an airline pilot's life. The benefits are real: good money, incredible travel, flexible schedules, and a sense of purpose few careers offer. But the sacrifices are just as real: missed holidays, physical strain, emotional distance, and years of struggle before the reward ever comes. This job gave me a life I'm proud of. It also asked for pieces of my life I'll never get back. That's the honest trade every pilot makes, whether they admit it publicly or not. If this video gave you a real look into this profession, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I'll be sharing more honest stories from behind the cockpit door, stories nobody else is willing to tell you. Drop a comment and let me know. Would you choose this life knowing everything it costs? I read every single comment, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for flying with me through this story today. Until next time, this is Captain Alex, signing off.